Namaste. A new chapter is beginning. The new chapter of a Rahu Ketu transit. So far, Rahu Ketu were transiting from Taurus and Scorpio sign. So the most affected signs of the 12 zodiac signs were Taurus and Scorpio. If you were born with Taurus moon sign or Taurus ascendant, or if you are born with Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio moon sign, you must have gone through a hell of a time while this transit continued. But now, today, Rahu Ketu is finally moving out of Taurus and Scorpio sign. And now the new target is Aries and Libra. And so men and women born on Aries or Libra moon sign or ascendant will definitely feel the heat of this transit of Rahu and Ketu. On one end, Rahu makes you run and run and run because Rahu is your desire, your ambition. Whereas on the other end, Ketu wants you to slow down. It depends on your maturity. It depends on your level of awareness. A typical shallow man or a shallow woman will get frustrated in Ketu period because he or she cannot relate with what Ketu wants to convey. So then they will start hating Ketu. Probably all those who hate me must be Rahuish, must be shallow. Because only shallow men and women have been hating Ketu from the very beginning of time. And what is Ketu? Ketu is the state of no mind. Ketu is the state of Buddha. It is only through Ketu that you can attain the peak of enlightenment. It is only through Ketu that one day you can become Mahakasyap. And so it is necessary that you focus on your self-growth, because at some stage in your life, Ketu will come to test you. And at that moment, if you are ready, then you will understand the beauty of Ketu. That is why it is said The master appears when the student is ready. And this whole life is all about getting ready. What is readiness? What is being ready? What I mean when I say getting ready, it simply means getting ready to surrender yourself in totality at the feet of the Master. The more you come towards the totality of surrender, the more you will be blessed. In this podcast, since Rahu and Ketu is transiting in a new sign, that is in Libra and Aries, I have created a podcast on the results of this transit for all 12 zodiac signs. The results may vary because there is your Antardasha, your Mahadasha, your Navamsha chart. There are many personal things that may vary the result of this transit. However, a general view has been shared in this podcast. There is no need to fear. And if you are fearful, then you should read my new book, Why You Fear. But through this podcast, I also want to share one new good news, especially for all my readers who have read my first book on Rahu, How to Overcome Rahu. So the good news is that next month, my new book on Rahu is coming, titled Revealing Rahu. I'll be sharing the details about the book as soon as it comes out next month. I'm sure that those who have read my book on Rahu will definitely benefit from my new book, Revealing Rahu. So let's begin with this podcast on Rahu Ketu transit results for all 12 zodiac signs. Rahu and Ketu are directly connected to Moon. In fact, Rahu is the north node of the Moon, while Ketu is the south node of the Moon. North direction is ruled by Mercury and south direction is ruled by Mars. So in a way, Rahu belongs to Mercury while Ketu belongs to Mars. That is why it is said that Rahu exhales in the Mercurian sign of Gemini, while Ketu exhales in the Martian sign of Scorpio. If you want to nullify the ill effects of Rahu in your birth chart, then you should start worshipping Lord Vishnu and recite the holy mantra Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha. And if possible, you should fast on every Wednesdays. And if you are suffering because of Ketu, then you should worship Lord Ganesha and recite the holy mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And fast on every Tuesdays. The proper way of fasting is to eat fruits until sunset, and then after sunset one should break the fast by having a vegetarian dinner. It is necessary to note that Ketu never causes any suffering to the individual. However, the individual feels that he is suffering because he continues to live his life in unawareness. The more you start bringing awareness to your being, the more you start realizing the significance of Ketu in your life. Awareness comes only when you start turning inwards. Awareness means to be totally aware of what you are doing at the time of doing it. Experiment with that, and you will see it, and you will experience such a peace as you have never known before. Risk everything for awareness, but never risk awareness for anything. This is the commitment of a sannyasi, that he is ready to lose his life but not his awareness. He has found a value which is higher than life. There is no other value which is higher than awareness. Awareness is the seed of godliness in you. When it comes to its full growth, you have come to the fulfillment of your destiny. As your awareness goes deeper, your actions may not be efficient, but they will have a new quality, the quality of grace, which is far more valuable. No machine can have the quality of grace. Your actions, your words will have a beauty of their own. When going through Ketu period, if you start meditating, if you start chanting, then naturally you will start rejoicing the entire 7 years of Ketu Mahadasha. However, if you are a typical shallow person, a typical negative person, then you will feel as if Ketu period is frustrating, when in reality it is not Ketu that is causing frustration, but your own ignorance of not listening to what your life's message is during Ketu Mahadasha. And the life's message during Ketu Mahadasha is to turn inwards, to let go, and to meditate, to chant, and to focus on your self-growth. The axis of Rahu Ketu is like the seesaw of our life. When two people sit on the two ends of the seesaw, what happens? One side goes down, is grounded, while the other side is elevated. Similar is the case of Rahu and Ketu. Similar is the seesaw of Rahu Ketu. The Rahu side is elevated while the Ketu side is grounded. Now when the Rahu Ketu will change their position on March 16, 2022, the whole focus of your life will also change. That which was elevated will go down, will be grounded, while that which was grounded will be elevated. For example, if you were jobless, then now you will get a job. While if you had a job but was unable to provide time to your family, then now you will find time for your family.
The whole transit of Rahu Ketu is the play of desire and desirelessness, a play of holding on and letting go. So, in the coming 18 months, you will hold on to something while you will have to let go of something. The most affected Rashi or zodiac sign during these 18 months will be the sign of Aries and the sign of Libra, since Rahu and Ketu will find their new home in these two signs, Aries and Libra. So naturally, from all the 12 zodiac signs, Aries and Libra will be the primary target of Rahu and Ketu. So now let's begin with our podcast on Rahu Ketu transit results 2022 for all 12 zodiac signs. Before I begin, I want to let you all know that the results are primarily based on the transits of Rahu Ketu through your moon sign, since the major impact of Rahu Ketu is on the mental level. So the results that I am specifying is based on your moon sign and not based on your ascendant sign. Let's begin now. Rahu Ketu transit results for Aries sign. Rahu transiting over your moon is not a good sign. You will become more Rahuish by nature. Your ambitions will skyrocket, and in the mad pursuit of achieving your ambitions, you will end up hurting many good people in your life. During these 18 months, you will become self-centered, you will become selfish. On the other end, Ketu will create much disinterest in marriage. However, sexual relationships outside marriage or without the stamp of marriage will fructify during this period. Relations with marriage partner will suffer, as well as you may feel as if your immediate boss in office is not giving you much attention and appreciation. Overall, you will suffer more on the personal as well as professional front. However, if you start taking efforts in doing daily meditations, daily chanting, and donating food to the poor, then you will be able to sail smoothly through the coming 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit. Rahu Ketu transit results for Taurus. Taurus men and women have been through a hell of a time, but now there is a sign of relief. Now you will start feeling much lighter, as if someone has lifted the burden from your shoulders. Now you will take more interest in spiritual practices, as well as you may also have an intense desire of traveling to foreign land, or you may have close connections with people from foreign land. You will be now more interested in manifesting your imagination, your dreams. Your focus will be to fly high, while on the ground level, in the routine daily life, you will remain disinterested. Thoughts of leaving your current job may haunt you, but be careful before you make the decision of writing your resignation letter. In the pursuit of attaining higher goals, you will ignore your health and the details of your daily routine life. This may cost you heavily, especially you may suffer on the health front. So take proper care of your health, pay attention to the details of your routine life, and then everything will be alright. Recite the holy mantra, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Recite this holy mantra daily to overcome Rahu's ill effect and to receive the blessings of Sri Ketu. Rahu Ketu transit results for Gemini sign. Gemini men and women will become more desirous, and when you are overshadowed by your desires, you tend to lose your awareness. And so, this transit indeed is a very challenging time for Gemini men and women. The coming 18 months you may earn well, but you will miss on focusing on your self growth. During this period of 18 months, you may also end up making many wrong decisions of your life. Please consult some wise person before you take decisions, as you will need someone to guide you during these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit. The only way to overcome this challenging time is by walking with faith in your heart and realizing the fact that it is not money, wealth, or power that brings lasting happiness, but your self growth. And so, start focusing within. The greatest journey is the journey within. Meditate daily, chant daily, recite the holy mantra Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, and you will see that this Rahu Ketu transit of 18 months becomes much bearable than otherwise. Rahu Ketu transit results for a Cancer sign. Cancer men and women will be fired up on the career level. They will become too ambitious and impatient when it comes to attaining career growth. Many may also become workaholic, and when you become a workaholic person, you destroy your family life. That is exactly what will happen with Cancer men and women. You will continue to run and run and run to achieve your ambitious career goals, while on the home front, you will remain ignorant. So try to maintain work-life balance, and you will be able to maintain balance in your life when you are able to find balance within. So focus within, start meditating, start chanting the holy mantra Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, and you will see that the transit of Rahu and Ketu will not cause much misery in your life. In case of Cancer men and women, it is always Rahu that cause much misery, and so fasting on Wednesdays, visiting Vishnu temple and reciting Vishnu Sahasranam is highly recommended for you. Rahu Ketu transit results for Leo sign. Leo men and women will become more religious or more spiritual during these 18 months. You may even visit significant places of pilgrimage during these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit period. This is a good time for Leo men and women, since Rahu will give positive results, but Ketu may try to disengage you. You may become less communicative, or you may just not bother to respond unless it is very much necessary. However, this period can bring much recognition and fame to you. You may also meet your master during this period, or the desire to find the master, the guru, may intensely rise within your being. This is a wonderful time for spiritual seekers. Overall, these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit are going to be good for Leo men and women. Stay optimistic and continue to think big and live large. Recite the holy mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Since Ketu is always a friend of Leo, and so the more you recite this wonderful Ganesha mantra, the more Ketu will bless you, since Ketu is Ganesha and Ganesha is Ketu. Love to all Leo men and women. Stay blessed. Rahu Ketu transit results for Virgo men and women. Virgo men and women generally face more troubles from Ketu, while Rahu seems to be a friend to Virgo folks. However, these 18 months of Rahu transit in 8th house may take you through a shock treatment. You may go through many upheavals and challenges, and you may feel tired and burdened. It seems that God is going to test your patience. God is going to test your faith. And you may wonder that where is God when you are going through such a hard time. But remember, when the student is giving test, the teacher is always quiet. Similarly, God wants to test your faith. And so even though these 18 months may prove to be highly tragic or traumatic, still, if you remain faithful and if you remain patient, then you will be able to live through these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit. To make this upcoming difficult path easier, start chanting the holy mantra Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha. Worship Lord Vishnu because He is the provider of wealth. And with Ketu transiting your 2nd house of wealth, you are going to fall short of money. So worship Lord Vishnu and visit his temple every Wednesday without fail. Libra men and women will have to spend much of their time in addressing the many issues related to their marriage. The focus will be so much on the other person in your life that you will miss to focus on yourself. Youngsters will be totally engrossed in their love relationships, and this can affect their academic progress. Please pay attention to your health, as your health may suffer. Control your sexual urge, else too much of sex may cause fatigue and a feeling of being lost. These 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit can cause much drama in your life. So be aware and try to spend some quality time with yourself. Meditate daily, chant daily, and recite the holy Vishnu mantra Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha to overcome the ill effects of Rahu's transit in the 7th house. Rahu Ketu transit for Scorpio sign. From last 18 months, Scorpio men and women were very much confused and were feeling lost and disengaged. However, the coming 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit will be of much relief. This is a great time for spiritual seekers, especially for those who wish to progress on their spiritual path. However, if you are too much entangled in the affairs of this material world, then these 18 months can lead you to certain challenges at your workplace. You may expect more from your employer, and this expectation will become the reason for your misery. You may become more aggressive at your workplace, which may lead to more problems in your career. Therefore, it is advisable that for the coming 18 months, try to balance your act, especially when you are at workplace. There is a possibility that you may have fights and arguments with your boss. So cool down and remember that there is always a time for a certain action. During these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit, you may start focusing on your health fitness. And so many of you will succeed in getting yourself back in shape. Overall, a good time for spiritual pursuit, but a challenging time for material progress. Ketu is a friend of Scorpio, and so to empower your Ketu, start reciting the holy Ganesha mantra. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Every morning using a Spatik Japamala, and wear this Spatik Japamala round your neck. Rahu Ketu transit for Sagittarius men and women. Sagittarius men and women should be very careful when it comes to money, because these 18 months incoming will be less while outgoing will be more, meaning less money will come your way and more money will slip out of your hand. In case you are working, then take care of your job, because either you will be fired or you may end up resigning. Either way, there is a chance that you may lose your source of income, that is your job. Stress at work is going to be the new normal for Sagittarius men and women. For students, this is a good time to focus more on your studies, or if you are doing research or some kind of studies, then also this is a good time. It is also a good time for those who take part in competitions or elections. Love affairs can trigger during these 18 months. You may feel as if a lot of creative juices are flowing within your being. If you are a married woman, then you may become a mother. After all, the greatest creativity is giving birth to a new life. This is an excellent period for artists and filmmakers. You may create something unique during this period. There will be a certain swag to your creativity. Overall, this is a good period for creative people, but for salaried class people, it can be a challenging time. Save your job, talk less, and work more. Rahu Ketu transit for Capricorn men and women. Capricorn men and women will finally take a sigh of relief, because the last 18 months were not good from financial growth viewpoint. Many of you were struggling financially, but now times will change for good. If you were struggling for a good job, then you will now find a good job. From last 18 months, your income was stressed, but now you will see a rise in your income. Capricorn men and women had a tough time because Saturn transiting on their moon and Ketu in 11th house was like a double whammy for many of you, and you all suffered much during these last 2 years. However, now God wants to see a smile on your face, and a smile will soon appear on your face. Many of your unfulfilled desires will now manifest. You will feel more energetic and optimistic. Recite the holy Vishnu mantra, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, to attract more wealth and abundance in your life. Remain devoted to your deity and continue to focus on your work. Rahu Ketu transit for Aquarius. Aquarius men and women will become busy and more busy as days pass by. This Rahu Ketu transit is going to make you a busy man or a busy woman. However, when someone becomes busy, he misses the joy, the peace, the happiness of life. Then you don't get time to spend for your spiritual growth, your self growth. Aquarius men and women will go through similar kind of situation. They may earn well, but they will continue to miss the joy of life, the love of life, the warmth of family life. When one gets diverted from the path of dharma, he or she becomes miserable even though they may be earning well. So the advice for all Aquarius men and women is to focus on following your dharma while remaining busy in your work. Recite the holy Vishnu mantra, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, daily, and remember to meditate every day for a minimum 20 minutes. Rahu Ketu transit for Pisces sign. Family, money matters and values of life becomes the primary focus of Pisces men and women. During these 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit, you may suffer due to heavy debts or credit card dues. Manage your finances, control your spending, and if possible, use more of debit card and less of credit card. You may get entangled in some financial scam or in some financial mess. So be very careful when it comes to managing money. Frequent visits to dentist or eye specialist is possible with this transit, so take good care of your teeth and eyes. Do not hurt others by your talk. Use words wisely, as your talk can destroy your relationship and it may also impact your future opportunities. So try not to hurt others by using offensive words. It is said, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, bless those who speak gently. In one of the verses, Samartha Ramdas Swami prays to Lord Rama and quotes, Give me the quality of speaking gently with others. Try to imbibe this quality within you. It will take you long way in your career and life as well. Recite the holy mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha to receive blessings of Shri Ketu. Ketu is Lord Ganesha and Lord Ganesha is Ketu. Overall, the transit of Rahu Ketu is going to lead you all to a new beginning. The last 18 months of Rahu Ketu transit in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio ends, and with every end comes a new beginning. Always remember, no matter how difficult your past was, you can always begin again. This new transit of Rahu Ketu is giving you the platform to begin again. So get up and get going. Always remember, after a full stop, a new sentence begins. A new story begins. There is never an end. Life continues. The larger question is whether you have the understanding to let go of your past and to start living your life by being here and now. Always remember, life is here and now. Life is not in the past and not in the future. Life flows in the now moment. Meditation is to be here and now. Be here now and you will experience the beauty of this wonderful journey called life. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः।